Hello viewers and our dear listeners, our followers. It's been a while. I want to welcome you once again and wish you a happy new year. I know most of you are thinking about new year resolutions, business ideas that can help you to journey through the year and invest and a living. There are very many options in agriculture as the backbone of this country and Africa at large. And as Menigte Farms, we present the goat farming model. In today's episode, I'll be taking you through the best ways of how to earn money, especially in goat farming, so that you can make your own decision in terms of investment. Better still, you can seek guidance from us, and we can be able to take you through the journey with you and guide you for better performance. Yeah, so as the basics of the farm, as we have always told you, 3 pillars, the breeds. Very key. Where I'm standing is the parent stock of this farm. The mothers. I'll be taking you through other paddocks so that you can see the weaners, the kids, and the breeding lines that we are following at this farm. So the breed is very key when you are selecting and starting your farm. Most of you opt for cheaper breeds in the market, and this is very bad because you will make losses. Markets have always rejects and animals that are bought at the farm. Most farmers opt to sell them off and then they keep with productive animals. I advise that if you want to purchase any animals, you look out for breeders, people who have been into this business, but also you look at the records of the animals. You can see most of our animals here are all tagged with different details. These tags represent the history, date of birth, type of birth. Was it born as a single, as a twin, as a triplet? Other details concerning pedigree information. That is what is the sire or the father's ID, or what is the dam or mother's ID and details. So at the end of the day, you have a breed that you can speak for. And this is very important for every farmer who wants to join goat farming. That said, the other component is on the management. Management is very key. Depending on the size of your land, you may opt for zero grazing or semi-intensive or free range. Now, each of these systems have pros and cons, and we shall have a detailed video about that. But in terms of management, we look at the workers, we look at the schedules, grazing schedules, vaccination schedules, deworming schedules, spraying schedules, among others. These are very important because they help us to pursue more of preventive than curative measures, especially when we are dealing with goat farming as a business. You do not want to wait for your goats to become sick, to be emaciated, then you treat. You prevent. So that is why we have special schedules for each and every farm that we work with. And on the workers, we train our workers on the best practices, on these schedules, on management, and early first aid administering, which is very key because however much an animal could have healed, the moment you delay administering any drug, even if it is the right drug, you will lose this animal. So that is why it is important to identify early some of these diseases through the signs and symptoms, so that you are able to generate the best out of goat farming as a business. So under this management, we can train your workers if you have them and you trust them. If you do not have, we already have trained workers that we can give you, and you are able to follow through the best practices and limit mortalities at your farm. Now, the other issue under management is to manage the breeding. Most of us breed anyhow, and that is why the biggest challenge we have in our farms is records. You do not know where a particular goat comes from in terms of the lineage, the mother and the father, and this limits the business aspect, because you are going to be selling an animal that you don't have history about. But if you incorporate the component of management and someone trained knowing the breeding properties, it is very easy for sure to make sure that these people are keeping for you the right records. Now, in the other aspect of management, there is housing. As you will see, most of our goat structures are raised, and this is basically to manage hygiene. These animals, we do not want them to interfere with their droppings and their urine, because these cause ammonia gases that bounce back, and they can easily cause pneumonia, especially to the kids. And for the mature ones, you will have a lot of cough and flu. I think you can see from the time I started communicating to you, you have not had any animal coughing or sneezing. This is because the house is raised and the droppings go down. The animals are just on a clean surface, because hygiene is very key and reduces a lot of very many diseases that would otherwise affect our animals. And you know, we do not want to use a lot of antibiotics when it comes to growing organic meat. So the most important thing that we are doing here is to limit the use of these drugs through managing the hygiene. That is part of the management that I'm talking about. The other component in the management is basically the remote support and supervision that we give, because on a daily basis our administrators call these farms that we manage and get daily updates about any sick animals, any animals that have given birth, and they give guidance based on the history of each farm that we work with. So that component of management is very key as you plan to venture into goat farming. And the last and very important component is the feeding. Most of you have called us and say, "Hi MeFarms, we want goats that produce twins, that produce triplets, and that is an ambiguous question, because I might have this goat here at this farm, and it has genetics of producing twins and triplets. But because you are taking it to a farm that doesn't have enough feeds, first of all, even if they're enough, maybe these feeds are not balanced in diet and nutrition, and so you find that this goat is not going to be as productive as it has been when it was at my farm, because the system of the goat is made in a way that the nutrients should be able to support the twinning and triplating, all the kids that are in the body. The moment the feeding and nutritional requirements are less, this goat is going to be forced to abort. For instance, you will have a lot of miscarriages, because the system of the goat is made in such a way that if it cannot support both the mother and the offsprings, it will do away with the offsprings, and at least the mother survives. So most of us, when we face some of these challenges of miscarriages, you can also, as a way of troubleshooting, you can always look at your pasture requirements. Now, our goats here feed on a semi-intensive system, partially out and partially in. We have hay that we make, we have pellets that we feed to special purpose animals, and these are available to you farmers watching me all over Africa. So the issue of pasture is very key. If you have small land, it is inevitable you have to plant pasture. Those with big chunks of land, you can plant highly nutritious pastures, especially those that are rich in protein, because those will increase the milk rate down. We have had cases of people calling us and a goat has produced, but it has less milk. So the challenge to that is basically nutrition. If an animal is feeding on a balanced diet, then you will not have those issues at the farm happening. Now, these three pillars, if well managed, the breeding, once again, the management, and I've explained the different components that are incorporated in management, and then the feeding, which is very key. Actually, feeding is the first immunity that you give to the goat. Even the young kids that are produced, the first thing you give them is colostrum, and that boosts their immunity even before you can come to vaccinations and all these other things. The feeding is very key. It contributes to twinning, it contributes to triplating, in addition to the genetics. Now, that said, I want to go to the other component of how we can ensure that these farms that we are setting up are sustainable. After you have prepared your three components that I've talked about, then you have to look at the sustainability. In breeding, we have what we call natural synchronization. I'm going to take you through, and you see the different phases that we have at this farm. But how can you ensure that you are making money faster? Which type of animals should you stock? Because that is also another question. Now, the lifespan or the productive cycle of the goat is between 7 to 12 years. So, the best animals to stock for any farm are goats that are ready to mate for the first time. You should have your first, your kids, the first kids at your farm. That is the best, as opposed to getting the goat that has ever given birth at another farm. Because as I told you, people who don't wish well for the industry will always want to sell animals that are having issues, those that have miscarriages. So the moment you take a goat that you have no history about, then you will have issues at your farm. It will cost you. But when you take a goat that has never given birth, it is going to give birth for the first time at your farm. That is very important because you will make its history starting with its first pregnancy. Now, what we always do for our farmers, we always pick these animals, select them specially, and mate them for them, so they take already mated. Note, it is also not advisable to take heavily pregnant or transport heavily pregnant animals, because it comes with stress, and when these animals reach, they will abort because of this stress. So these first time mothers can be mated and then given to you. That is going to make your work easy, because in the next 5 months of you stocking, you are going to receive the first kidding session, because the gestation period of these goats is 5 months. So when we make them for you, maximum you should risk to transport animals should be like a month pregnant. That one you may not have many challenges. The other reason we prefer these young and juvenile nannies, or call them darlings, is because they easily acclimatize to new environments. The farm is in Mitiana, for instance, and you are taking the goats to Yumbe, for instance. These are two different areas with different climatic conditions. And now you are taking a mature goat that has been acclimatized to this environment in the central region, which is different from the northern region. It will take it time to acclimatize. You may actually lose it because it will come with stress and it will die. But these young goats will easily acclimatize to new environments, and you will find that the goat is doing well. Most of you have seen that you have picked goats from particular farms in different areas, and when you take them to your areas, you see the performance diminishes. So the factor could be maybe it was of age and it is failing to acclimatize. So members, take note of these key things as you plan to invest in goat farming as a business, if you mean real business. Now, that said, I want to also tell you that in case a farm has history, the best goats to stock will be those that have given birth maybe once. That is, I'm putting a disclaimer, if you have history. This is because most of these goats, for the first time mothers will always give you one kid, even if they have the potential to produce 2 kids. But that is if you mated them at around 8-9 months for the crosses. If you wait to mate them at around 1 year, 1 year and 1 month, 1 year and 2 months, the likelihood that they will give you triplets is also high, because the body of the goat will have developed. Most of the goats that we mate at 8-9 months will give you 1 kid for the first time. When the body develops, you will find them giving you twins and triplets. So if you take a goat that has history, that has produced once, and has the genetics of giving you 2 and 3, it is going to continue giving you that, and you'll find that your farm will multiply easily and seamlessly. Before you know it, you have created a big herd. Now, these are hacks that you will not get from anywhere apart from us here at, on our channel, Menigte Farms Limited. If you have not subscribed, I urge you to hit the subscription button, subscribe to our channel, like this video, share, because knowledge is power. When you have knowledge, you have power. And we can only change this economy when we are providing food to the rest of the generations, because on a daily basis, population is increasing. We have to double our efforts in terms of multiplication of food. This will help us, and that is why some of these ventures in agriculture are very lucrative, and they are best ways where you can keep your money even when you have where you are working before you retire. These are activities that you can do seamlessly if you consider those factors. Now I'm going to take you through the different paddocks and to show you how sustainable this farm can be, because we have 2 breeding lines. You can come with me so that you see the breeding packs. Thank you, viewers. So here we have 2 breeding lines. You can hold the back. And why we separate them is to have controlled breeding. We only provide this back, Savannah, to Savannah does. And we only provide this back, the Boer, to Boer does, so that we keep the different breeding lines. This is helping us on the records and the genetics, remember. But it's also helping us to ensure that we can have the kidding session in just one period that we require, and that is what I was talking about, the natural synchronization. You will be able to see that we have different sets of kids. Those that are still on the mother's milk, and that is usually from 1 month, from 1 day to 3 months. Those are declared to be kids, and they are not weaned off until they are 3 months. So you will be able to see the kids, you will be able to see the winners, but that is possible through controlling these bucks to mate, controlled breeding, and that is what we do. So it is important, if you have bucks, to put them in their own pen to avoid inbreeding. You don't want the offspring of this goat to mate with its sister or brother in that sense. So we can only do that if we create an environment where we control the breeding through paddocking at the farm. The other important paddock that is important is for the sick bay. You can see that in our sick bay, you can come and show the sick bay. You have 2 animals. You can enter there, see these 2 animals that are sick and being monitored. We do this to avoid disease escalation to other animals. This goat is sick, and this is also sick under medication. We do not want the diseases to escalate to the rest of the herd. So that is why we isolate them here, so that we can monitor them, supplement them, and when they pick up, they can then go to the rest of the herd. It is very important and a very good strategy in disease management, because you do not want to lose your whole flock as a result of not quarantining, especially diseases that are viral and contagious. This is the best way, because when I'm teaching you about business, especially in this new year, I also have to show you how you can limit the diseases, because these will cause mortality, and your planned revenues will be affected if you do not do these best practices. Now, I am going to take you to the set of winners, those that were produced by the mother stock for the first time, and then we are already in the kidding season. We always ensure that we have the kidding season in the dry season, because this helps us to manage the kids. Always in goat farming, during the wet season we have a lot of challenges, because these bacteria and viruses multiply easily during the cold conditions, and they affect these goats. You will have a lot of flu, a lot of cough, a lot of foot rot, affecting a lot of viral affecting your goats, and this is during the wet season. Now imagine the mother goat is breastfeeding, and with all these risks attributed to the wet season, it is going to affect the business, and that is why we schedule the kidding to be in the dry season, where we have limited risks for disease. And on the feeding during the dry season, we always keep hay and silage to help the nutritional component, because you'll ask me and say, but during the dry season our grazing grounds are less of pasture and all this and that, but preparedness is part of the game in this business. Thank you. You can come with me, and then we go to the pigs. These are sets of kids that have been weaned off. I think you can see them. This set has been weaned off just 3 months, most of this process, and this is always the profit of the farm, because this can create another farm. So what we always do is we get off the males, because at this stage they are a bit active and they can disturb, and we grow them differently. The revenues of every goat farm mostly will come from the sale of the males. The females, you want to keep them always for productivity at the farm. So this is a set of winners. Some of them have already been booked and taken by other people because of the genetics, the good genetics that come along. So this is how also you can ensure that the farm is sustainable. If you went to a farm, for instance, and you find the number of winners and kids is less than the parent stock, if there is no explanation for that, and that one we call it crop size, then you know that this farm is not productive, because the total of the kids and the winners should be more than the parent stock, and that is how you know that this farm is doing well. And this is what you should base on to say, okay, I'm going to purchase my parent stock from this farm. It's very important, members. Note that these are hacks that you will hear from nowhere apart from us here at MeFarms. Come with me to see the kids that are being born. See the kids that are being born during this dry season. Hello. From up. So, members, this is what I keep on telling you. You will see that the kids' pen has these beddings. They are very good because they give them warm, and you can see that for the kids' pen it is a bit enclosed, because we do not want them to have a lot of access to too much air. We want them to remain warm. Too much wind, that will cause them pneumonia. Not also to forget that the biggest killer of kids is starvation. That is why we ensure that these kids, when they are born, they are fed at least 3 times from their mothers, in the morning, mid-morning, and in the evening. Those that are weak, they are supported to help the kids in ensuring that they survive. The other killer is, of course, the respiratory infections, the pneumonia, the fever, all these. But with the kids, as long as you manage the issue of their milk, as long as you manage the issue of their hygiene and aeration of the structure, then you'll be good to go in terms of growing them. This is just within 1 week, and we're expecting most of those other pregnant goats to give us other kids, as you can be able to see them here. So, members, as we plan to invest in this business, I want to encourage you and say that you should look for the best knowledge. Come with me, from practicing farmers, people who are practicing. this business. And we are here to guide you, to show you, and take you through all the steps. If you still have any questions, do not hesitate to reach out to us on our different contacts. We shall give you all the knowledge that you require to ensure that this is a successful business. So you can enjoy these goats moving up, because we are taking them for another session of grazing. I want to thank you. Subscribe to our channel, and please don't hesitate. Don't hesitate to contact us. Don't hesitate to reach out to us and make money out of this lucrative venture. This is the masterpiece video that will guide you, that will show you that it is possible to start and get money. Thank you for watching. Bye. Julius again.